It's time. Go get them, girlfriend Peggy. It is the sunglass edition of Raw Talk Live.
Yes.
You got your eyes,
Happy
baby, so
Wednesday
you
to
can
everybody.
see.
Huh?
I said, you got your eyes so you can see.
Yeah, they not tinted. They're not shades, so I can see a
Okay,
little
okay.
bit. Yeah.
Are they your prescription glasses now?
No, I'm thinking about having them made prescription, but I think they're a little bit too much. Yeah, for prescription. I don't want
Yeah.
to be stuck having to wear this all the time.
Mm-mm. No.
So yeah, this is
No.
every now and then occasional glasses.
Yeah. They might be too big for a prescription.
No, they have the exact measurements for the lens and all that other
Oh,
stuff.
okay, that's
They put
cool.
it in there. Yeah, I already checked on it, but like I said, I think this is my first time putting them on. So since I ordered them, I got them from Lens Smart off of Facebook, and
Yes.
they came within the time and nicely packaged, and just like they looked on the advertisement. So I'm very happy with them.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. They are
Yeah,
lovely. They
yeah,
are
I'm very happy with them. But like
lovely.
I said, I think they'll be a little bit too much for everyday glass, for everyday reading glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I do like them.
Yeah. Well, you doing it tonight, girl. You are sporting your crown. You are sparkling all the way down. That's how we do it on Raw Talk Live, and it's a good thing. And so we are excited tonight because we are testing out our new equipment. You know,
Yes.
we have been very frustrated with the podcast. We had been frustrated with the show because we had so many technical
Issues.
issues.
Yes.
With the video freezing and the audio freezing and um,
Delayed. Yeah.
and being delayed and
Yeah.
just
Terrible.
it
Just
was
been
just
terrible.
horrible.
It's
We
been
would do
horrible.
it was horrible. We would do a great show and then we would have to delete it because it
So
was
bad.
just unacceptable. And
Yeah.
we just could no longer put our names on that. It just mm-mm. It was like no. And so and now this is I finally, with the help of my daughter, got everything hooked up, and it's a system, it's an upgraded system that can support live streaming.
Okay.
My old computer, my system
Couldn't do
just
it. Yeah.
just couldn't do
And
it.
somebody told us it was a wonder that we were even able to get on for 2 years. Like
Yes.
we did this for 2 years on that old equipment.
Yep. Yep.
Oh
And
yeah.
because initially it was all right, but as time went on, and the equipment
Hmm.
got older and slower and this and that and the other, it just got to a place where it was just ridiculous.
Right.
We just we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. So we're happy tonight to test it out and see what's up and make it happen. Oh, good God. What did I just do? There we go. Now my mission, if I choose to accept it, is to get the mouse to act right. Shout out to all of the Raw Talkers in the building already. We saw some folks down with us on our little brief Facebook. Hey, what's going on, Jane? Jane is in the building. Yes, Jane says, I am here. I am here. She loves
All
the
right.
glasses, Peggy. She loves the
Thank,
glasses,
thank
girlfriend Peggy.
you. Thank you.
Yes, Auntie. Yes.
They won't be on one.
Yes, yes. Kim Brickhouse in the building. What's going on? What's going on, Baltimore? We're going to get you out of Baltimore, though. We about to get you
Okay.
out of Baltimore, baby. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, so tonight we have a special guest joining us. She is also a podcast creator and talk host, and she's interesting because she was just you know, you know how you just doing your thing. She was just doing her thing, and and she made a statement
Sit down. What do
and
you
said, "Men ain't
sit down?
menning." Men ain't menning. And once she said that, everything just took off, and it hasn't been the same for her ever since. And so we are excited about having her join us on the show tonight. Um, and it's a beautiful thing. So put your hands together and show your love for Lakesa Dennison, aka Kizzy. What's going on, Kizzy? What's up, Kizzy Pooh?
Hey girl, see, y'all wasn't gonna leave me out of this shade cascade.
My
I'm here
baby went
for
and
it.
got her shades.
I got my shades. I said, oh no, they didn't. They ain't tell me we was throwing on glasses. Let me grab some. It's like six pairs sitting right here. Let's go. I'm ready.
She
Yes,
ready.
yes, right on in
She
there.
ready.
That's right.
She ready.
Yes.
And looking beautiful too, and looking just
Oh, shimmy tonight. Hey, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. I'm surprised to get your shimmy on.
that's right, baby. Get your shimmy on. Get
Yes.
your shimmy on. It is
Mhm.
a good thing. But yeah, so Kizzy, I kind of talked about it a little bit, how things happen for you with men ain't menning. But give us the story, baby. What's up with that?
It's funny how the story started because it's funny because somebody else made a post and it was a man and I can't even remember what he was complaining about, but it was ridiculous in my opinion. And my comment on his post was, "It's a damn shame." Shaking my head, men ain't minute. I immediately went to my page and made a post that said, "Men ain't minute," and Lord have mercy, it just I'm getting inboxes. I got so many comments. I was like, okay, well, I need to address these comments. So I went live. What? Let me tell you why I said what I said. So talked to them for an hour, and I was like, all right, y'all, it's Tuesday. I like tacos. I can't be on here with y'all every day. Talking to y'all. They was like, yeah, but you got to do this again next week. And I'm like, I really don't want to be doing nothing on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. except watching Wheel of Fortune. But okay, I'll be back next week. Literally, that was exactly 6 months ago. So we're at our 6 month anniversary of Men Ain't Menin.
Wow. And it just
Wow,
took off from there. So
congratulations, yeah.
Yeah,
and so you
it just
created the podcast, and now you do it every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook, right?
I do it on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook and
Okay.
YouTube. So
Okay.
I have a YouTube channel,
Tuesday.
Men Ain't Menin. And I just introduced TikTok to it, so they're gonna come along too.
Oh yeah, they'll come along.
Right.
Those TikTokers are, they're very supportive.
Yeah.
They're very supportive, and so that's a good thing. Have you gone live on TikTok with Men Ain't Menning yet?
I actually last night was the first night that I introduced them to a full actual episode of what it would look like on Facebook. So I went live
Mhm.
on both. And so they got a little
Oh,
experiment last night. And I was like, okay, y'all, we're gonna have to pick a night for you all because I can't multitask with the comments, especially because TikToks come real fast.
Right.
Facebook, not so much.
mhm.
But I had a couple of people join me on the TikTok live last night because I'm like,
Play.
Facebook, do y'all want to hear from the folks on TikTok? And it was like, yeah. So I let them join. Come on, say what you're gonna say, and I'm gonna tell you whether or not I agree.
And that's all right. That's how it works. That's a good thing to be able to mix and cross them up together. I like that. And
Yeah.
so when people say men ain't menning, what kind of comments are the men making in defense of themselves?
All right. For example, I had an episode about whether or not a man's expectations is higher than a woman's, and I love when the men are engaging
No
heavily,
noise.
and they engaged heavily on that one, and they were so hell bent on trying to convince me that I was wrong until I asked them, so
Over there, it don't make
what do
no
you
noise.
actually expect from her? And their answers were so broad. First, it was, I don't expect anything for her except for her to be there for me. Wait a minute, sir. That's a huge expectation for you to ask a woman to be there for you. Be there for you how? Be there for you when? So exactly what are you asking her? See, you can't give me any definitive things because you want to leave that window broad so you can have whatever you decide you want to expect to fall under an umbrella. No, sir, not today.
Right.
And so, of course, they agreed that I was right.
Yeah, they eventually have to agree. You can't be vague.
You can,
You can't be vague with that, and
right?
then and expect to get what you want. Because it's like a setup. I had somebody. I asked one of the raw talkers, um, what did he want? What was he expecting for a woman? And he says, I expect for her to be my peace. And I'm like, oh, um, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What you want her to be? A what? A piece of pie? A piece of cake? A piece of ass? What? Oh, I just want her to be there when I get home and I want her to be quiet. I don't want her to say nothing. Oh, but you know what? They got these lifelike dolls that you can get.
Yes.
And they got real, the doll has real tongue, the doll got a real coochie, you know you can pound that bitch down into the ground and sling her all around, and she'll be there when you get back.
I'm gonna go and take a sip off of that one. All I gotta say is this: ain't nothing like the real thing, baby.
Oh, she
That's
can
it.
sing.
You can
That's
buy
it.
all the dogs. There's a whole lot of things that dog can't do.
Okay, so I'm like, you need to be specific about that, because that's too vague. Peggy, we were talking about, men telling you what they want and what they say is so vague that it's a broad open spectrum,
Mhm.
and then that leaves them an opportunity to say you
You
ain't.
ain't.
Right.
Oh well, you didn't do this, so what I really wanted was that, and you didn't do it, so now what? Or to say that I want a woman to be my peace.
Right.
Your piece of what?
Yeah, I talked about that too. I said that that whole statement is wrong. It should be her piece because first of all, we have to do entirely too much for y'all to be disrupting our day. We hormonal 4 weeks out of the month. I don't know what they think we be doing. I, don't get on my nerves. Don't do stupid stuff. Don't say stupid stuff. Stop acting stupid. Stop looking at me like you stupid. Stop playing like you stupid. Stop. Now, let me say this, y'all, because I have to say this. I love men, and I ain't even talking about all of them, but because there's some real ones out there. But real men, talk to your homeboy because it's okay for you to be doing what you're doing and you're doing the right thing. The problem I have is that y'all condone their bad behavior, and that isn't manly at all. Because why would you want somebody in your circle that ain't on the same level as you are? And it happens all the time. See, I don't have a problem cutting one of my lady friends off that ain't doing what she should be doing, and she's not a representation of the type of people I want in my circle. Men don't do that. Oh, that's my homie. I didn't know him this long. Your homie ain't right, and I can't believe he did that. You don't lay next to him, so you don't know nothing about that man that she lays next to. So I love fellas. I'm gonna get a real men they props. It's your homeboy that ain't doing right that I need you to talk to because they out there and it's ridiculously bad.
because I did a whole dating experiment just to prove a point.
Really?
Absolutely. I ain't gonna be on here talking about men ain't men and I ain't got no substantial evidence.
Oh,
So, how did that work? What did you do?
Okay, so the 6 different guys. I went out. The sixth one, I was tired by the sixth one. I just said I'm just not gonna be able to do it. So I went out with 5 of them. But I can say that 2 out of the 5 were dateable. The other 3, get somebody else to do it.
Oh,
And all of these men are over 40. All of these men have good jobs. So they're providers. They're just slacking on the protecting and the professing and having some, I don't know. And I don't blame them 100%. I blame the women they dated before them to think for a moment that I'm going to lower my standards for them to be okay. No, sweetheart, I need you to work with me and get on the right level so we can move forward. If not, I'm going to move around. I'm going to take a sip off that one.
oh yeah. Go right ahead. I was slacking on that part, but yeah. So, what are you looking for them to do?
It is, I don't know about anybody
When
else.
you say protect and profess, and that these certain men were not dateable. What about them was not dateable?
Okay. All right. So one of them, absolutely great dude. First dude was absolutely great. He called me up and he was like, "Get dressed. Make sure you put on some heels." I'm like, "Ooh, he's taking me somewhere." He he took me grocery shopping. I ain't mad. I eat a lot. It might not look like it. And I was like, "Why would you tell me to put on heels to go grocery shopping?" Because he wanted to see me walk around in heels. And every time that he called me, I was in one of 4 places: Walmart shopping, the meat market, the seafood market, or the kitchen.
So he said, "Hey, she likes shopping. I'm going to take her grocery shopping."
She likes food. So I was like, all right. It was absolutely sweet. We actually went out twice. The second one was actually dateable. When I say dateable, I mean the first one, I'm probably should call him back. The second one exuded masculine energy, and I love that. You know what I mean? He was an alpha male through and through. He just worked a lot. And I ain't mad at a man that works a lot because I too sometimes work a lot. The third one, oh Lord. The third one is someone I think I dated a long time ago. And he was like, let me just take you for drinks. Let me just take you for drinks. So we go out for drinks. I ended up going live on that date. And he just was inappropriate. I mean, just inappropriate. And when we first got there, he said something that had me and the bartender looking at him like, wait a minute. He was like, I don't want to sit by the door because I don't want the people, whoever, if somebody come in here to get me first. Use my French, your bitch ass, what? You don't want nobody to get you first, but mind you, the bar is an outside area. If anybody was coming, it wasn't going to be through the door. They would have just stepped over the rail and came through the bar area. But he was just a nuisance the entire night. And I ended up going live. He was inappropriate, and he ended up leaving the date pissed off because what he said I can't say. I don't even want to say what he said. Made me mad, and I ended up going off on him in the live, and I literally had to take the live down because of what he said, not because I went off. And it was just so I wanted if I just know I wanted to smack him, but I have been drinking, so I'm trying to laugh through it. But just know I was a little bit upset, and I was pissed because I'm like, if somebody snatched me off the street, kidnapped me because you didn't said this, that, and the third on my live, are you crazy? Do you know how many people watch these? And then like I got off the live, went home it was like that Saturday. It hit me on Sunday. Wait a minute, take the live down because there's certain information that everybody don't need to know. This ain't OnlyFans. Just put it that way.
Okay.
The third one, I'm not going to talk about, but just know I enjoyed it. I mean, the fourth one, just know I enjoyed it.
Okay, we'll take that.
And the fifth one is statistical asshole that stay with his mama.
Oh, is that a red flag? Is that a no-no?
That's the big no-no, considering that he's statistical okay, you're handsome. Okay, you're cute. All right, you make a nice, decent living. You own a thing or two. Why you at your mama house? I ain't coming over there.
Mm-mm. You can't do no entertaining over there.
None. I'm not gonna have you come in my home every day for entertainment. And you're gonna be making me talk up in here, and then you're gonna think you're supposed to have a key. And that ain't a luxury I can afford you.
Mm-mm.
Not this year, not next year, not in 5 years, not in 10. I need to be able to walk you to the door and lock it when you leave and not have to worry about you coming back in here, especially that one. The sixth one, I just said I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I can't go on no more dates.
Well, at least you conducted the experiment. I don't know if I have the energy to do that. You
I
know, Um,
never again.
yeah,
You
and
remember
when I
when we
did, I
started
did
off,
do it.
if you remember,
What happened?
He said one time, you know, uh
uh,
For some reason, I know you broke up, girlfriend Peggy.
yeah, we didn't hear you.
I love girlfriend Peggy so much.
we started having audio difficulties. I was asking Miss B, does she remember when we first appeared to just have a set of questions and the gentleman on that start doing a process of elimination through talking to them and then narrowing it down to like 3 or 4 men. Maybe I would indulge and go out on a date. I couldn't even take step one. I out people jumping in my DMs. I'm nervous about fake Facebook pages and the person not being who they say, and it was just couldn't do it. I just didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to go process. I didn't want to take chances. It's a lot of energy, effort that women have to put into themselves, dress for dates, going out meet gentlemen somewhere, and it
Mm.
takes a lot of energy to do that. And I want to do it, and I can't do it, and I haven't done it. So
Adrian is asking me a question, I
hence I'm
think.
saying, to say the least. But
Was
yeah,
it on live?
it's a lot.
Yeah, Adrian, it was on live, sir. But don't waste your time going to look for it.
But he was saying, why was it on live? Hi, my darling, how you doing? Much love to you and your family. He wanted to know why you went live. She went live because she had been conducting an experiment.
Part of the reason why I went live, let me tell y'all a little bit more about that date. So we're sitting at the bar. His phone rings, and it's his son while we're on a date. He invites his son to come have drinks with us at the bar. And I was like, why are you inviting your son? He's like, oh, well, you're going to have to meet him anyway. And I'm like, no, I'm not. So
Mm.
you brought your son. After a while, we're sitting there, and I'm sitting here like, is this really happening? Is he really sitting here having conversation with his son? And I'm just sitting here like, is this happening? I was like, can I go live? And they was like, yeah. So that's why I went live. And then I don't think he can handle his alcohol and things went left. And so, yeah, that's why I was live, Adrian. He had already broke date code. So why do I need to focus on it at this point? You've invited your son to come have drinks with us. And I'm like, why? I didn't want to meet his son. And he asked me if I wanted to meet him. He just
Mm.
did it. So fair game. Can you mind if I go live? He said no. Then he's talking about he's trying to help me get fans. Sir, I don't need those kind of fans.
We don't need your help, sir. We don't need your help. I would have been suspicious that what he was trying to do was some sort of tag team, him and his son on you. It's either that or you're very insecure. What is it? I mean, that's a red flag right there that you want to invite another male in on a date where you're supposed to be trying to get to know a woman better. You know what I mean? What's up with that?
I've known him for a long time. Uh-oh. I've known him for a long time. So I think yeah, his son was
Mhm.
probably in high school when I first initially met him. And so
Okay.
in his mind, okay, we have a little history, and I know you are who he thought I'm like, no, I just met you
Okay.
trying to take this way further than I've agreed for it to go, knowing I have no intentions of seeing you like that. Miss B, you missed a little piece. I knew him already, and I have been knowing him since his son was in high school. So he called himself trying to introduce me to his kids, at least
Okay.
one of them
Oh,
on the low. And I'm like, I don't need to meet your son. Kinda should have asked me, you know, we just having drinks. I'm trying to see if I like you. So that's how that
yeah, yeah. See, so that went left. Kizzy, we didn't. I failed to introduce you properly because we didn't tell. We talked about you creating the podcast, but we didn't tell anybody what you do for a living, and um, and
matters.
so why this is easy for you.
All right, so the technical term for what I do is I'm a learning and development consultant. And what that means is all things training and learning in the workplace, whether it's a new implementation, whether it's some type of organizational change management. Well, we got to listen and look for behaviors and how people are receiving it. I specialize in transfer of knowledge and I teach you how to interact with other people and effective communication. And I've been married and had a whole bunch of boyfriends, so I feel like I can do this. And apparently, they want me to do it, but I do all things training. I specialize in transfer of knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to get that established that you are accustomed to talking to people and interacting with people and reading people,
People.
so you know when they're getting it and when they're not getting it. So now what were women saying about what they want from men?
Well, it's funny because I'm gonna refer back to one of those dates. I'm gonna want to refer back to the egotistical one because I've known him for a long time too. So he came over and I was like, "Hey, on your way up, do you mind grabbing that case of water out of my truck?" So he grabbed the case of water out of my truck. He complained about it. So on his way down, I was like, "Hey, can you take the trash down for me?" Yeah, you did it, but he complained about it. You just sat your ass up in my house and ate my damn food that I fed you out the kindness of my heart, and you complaining about bringing some water upstairs and taking a bag of trash downstairs, and you stay at your mama's house. Women,
Problem.
it's the problem. Not to mention what women complain about most is this. I get some of the weirdest stuff on Facebook. It is pinned to the top of my page. Do not hop in my inbox. I'm not interested. I do not internet date. And when I tell men who hop in my inbox, no, thank you, I get insulted and disrespected. Then I got to respond, your mama, and this type of foolishness because they're saying things they ain't got no business saying to me. And I'm like, if this is how you behave with an absolute stranger, I can't even imagine how you would behave when you can't get your way with the woman you're with. Are you serious? You had a whole
With.
temper
Yep.
simply because I
Mhm.
said, no, thank you. And then I explained to you because you decided that I needed to
Thank
get
you.
off the internet because this is where you meet strangers. And if I ain't ready to meet strangers, this is social network. This isn't dating. Facebook has its own separate place for that. So I got daddy issues, and I had time that day. First and foremost, I'm a daddy's girl. I grew up in a two-parent household. It sounds like you have some insecurities that you need to deal with, that you suffered from childhood trauma. Step one. Step two, you claim you did your homework about me. Well, you failed epically because if you did your homework, you've been watching stories, mind you, stories that I've made on accident, not even on purpose. You've been watching stories and on my page, but you missed what was pinned at the top, meaning you can't follow directions or you can't read. But I do know that all you really did was surf my pictures and looked at videos. You didn't take the time to see where my mind was. You just like what you saw. And that's all that mattered to you. And the moment that I said no, thank you, it was a problem. So I just put him on blast and made a reel out of it, and just that was that. But that's the type of stuff women are dealing with. Is I was nice. I'm like, no, thank you, but thank you. But you mad, and you
Right.
expect.
You know, it's like, hey, I'm flattered, but no, thank you. Oh, now you a ugly bitch. Now you all kinds of names and all things inappropriate. That's
Yeah,
not appealing. That's not sexy. That's not protective. That's not anything. I think something too that women that that I'm looking for. We always talk about it, girlfriend Peggy, actions. What's your action? Damn what you say. What is it that you're doing? And if you are consistently inconsistent,
hmm
for example, hey baby, I'm coming over. I'll see you at 6 o'clock, and then you don't come and you don't call. But the next time you call me or speak to me, I'm supposed to be nice.
now they don't even play with me like that because I don't even play with them like that. Tell you what, if you ain't here by said time and I ain't heard from you, there won't be a speak to me again because you've already shown me that I cannot depend on you to even keep your word. I can't even depend on you to do what you said you were.
Right.
So why
And
would
like I
do.
said, I
I
didn't
mean,
ask you for that.
right?
And I hate when they volunteer a lie. I didn't ask you.
Accountability. Why lie? Be
You
responsible.
right. You
Tell
grown. Why you gotta lie?
It doesn't make any sense to me. The other thing that kills me is I talked about this last night too. Um, okay, so if a woman gets caught cheating, we what we do, y'all? We be like, we either ain't gonna say nothing. We gonna let him go through whatever little trial and tribulation mentally and emotionally he have to go through. We gonna keep telling him that he tripping. Stop, you tripping. Then at some point you gonna have to have that conversation with him. But if a man gets caught cheating, he is going to lie till he dies about it. We ain't the same. We not built the same. We gonna call our girlfriend and get kicked.
Not gonna man up.
He's not gonna man up. You gonna have to walk in on him. He's still gonna be talking about that's my friend.
He'd be like, it's not me.
Wasn't
That
me.
ain't me. It's not me. I'm not
That
letting
wasn't
that
me. That wasn't me.
Negro, I'm looking at you. That's what they do. And I'm like,
That wasn't me.
I don't understand because look, I don't always do stuff right. But guess what? A woman up to it.
and there you go.
You go,
Well,
you're not
uh,
Men
real
ain't men,
well.
it's just simply men.
Men ain't men. They don't want to open car
No,
doors. They
I
don't
was
want to
saying to me,
hmm,
go ahead, Miss Peggy.
men ain't men and mean they just simply not meeting, they just simply not adding up. They're
Uh,
not even adding up to the MEN. And the ING is the end of it. Like you're not coming nowhere need be to get the mark to even start to get in a relationship with somebody for me to continue talking to you with the idea or thought option that we might be able to connect and go to another level. not even happening because
Mhm.
they're not even doing bare minimum
Right. And
consistency.
it
Uh,
goes back
uh,
to make expectations.
anything they can't keep their word. They're not doing anything. They're not.
They're
And I'm
not.
not saying all because I have
No,
to all. So just a few.
Yeah, but far too many are
far,
not. You
far.
know, far too many. Just just on hitting the mark, and 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 what makes it even more difficult for women is that now we can't rest in our feminine energy with you. And so what we see now in this generation of people who are 35 and under, maybe even 40 and under is what people say, the women are aggressive and they're combative. Well, they've been in a household maybe where there wasn't a man, or they themselves have to do everything. All right. So, you're out here getting it. You're working, you're taking care of, your children, however you got those children. Okay. But nine times out of 10, the woman is left with that responsibility. And
Mhm.
so she has to man up
Right.
on all fronts.
On all fronts.
She is the first hedge of protection for herself, for her home, for her children, everything. And then you want to come along and be slacking.
Finances,
What you
Right.
say,
emotions,
girlfriend
their
Peggy?
emotions, everything.
Yeah, they do. And I
Yeah, for
tell them
their finances, emotions, everything. She is the first line of defense.
exactly. And I
Yeah,
told
she has to be masculine because she has to take over the masculine role.
right. And I've said this. They was like, well, when y'all gonna reach your soft girl era? I was like, when you find a woman and make her feel safe. And I don't mean physically. I mean emotionally. I mean
Yes.
mentally. I said when you put her in a position to make her feel safe, and please understand it does not happen overnight because she has had to carry all of that weight and she's accustomed to it. So you got to build a certain type of trust with her. But at the same time, you got to be patient with her because she's had to do this far too long by herself, and you got to come in and make her feel safe. If that's the woman that you care about, and that's the woman that you love, and that's the woman that you want to uplift and support, do understand she will go where you lead her as long as you lead her in the right direction. So come in and make her feel safe. You got to make everything about the situation feel safe. If because she's used to having it, so make her feel like if she ain't got it, you got it.
Well said. Well said.
And not doing that.
Well, fill us in. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, Adrian, to type everything that you want to say. Maybe we can have you on one day and you can express it. But he said there's a lot missing from this conversation, and that's why we're happy to have our men in the building because it's an open conversation, and we
In
don't
the
want you to
building,
feel like
right?
you're being attacked or
Mm-hmm.
belittled. It's just, how we feel. It's our experience from our point of view, and it's true. So, if you have something else to add, we would gladly receive that. Um, Hi, Nikki Brown, also
Yeah.
a podcaster, a content creator, and her show is on. Oh, remind me. I think it's also on Tuesday. She'll remind me. It's either a Monday at 7 or Tuesday at 7. She'll let us know. Her podcast deals with grieving. And so she talks about grieving.
Mm.
If you know anybody who's going through, recommend that they follow her. Put your info in there for me, baby. Adrian laughing at me. Why you don't want to be a guest on the show? We are so happy to have you, Nikki. All right, she says it's Monday night at 8 p.m. on Facebook. And I'm going to leave her name up there. You can write her name down. and follow her and find that. I want to give a shout out to Gail Alexander. I see she's joined us. One of our original Raw Talkers in the building tonight. We are always happy to see you anytime you can come through. And yes, her program is Let's Talk About Grieving, and on a Monday night at 8 p.m. on Facebook. Yeah, but yeah, there might be a lot missing, but
Mhm.
this is what it is for right now.
Yeah.
See,
And yes,
Adrian
Yeah.
thinks that there's a
Right.
lot.
Keep in mind, we know it's always two sides to every story.
I
Yeah,
don't
there's
mean
a lot missing. It's two story, but we're three women giving our side of the story. So of course there's the man's side that's missing and a lot of things in between that points of views that bring into the conversation that we so listen, that's why we
yeah,
need to got
yeah. Adrian says a lot missing from the conversation because, and I bet you, Adrian, tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. You're probably one of those men that I said we salute you.
he is.
So again, I just did a shout out, and I make sure that I do them on a regular basis for my real men to check in. And I had so many of them check in, but I have not one of them complain about, but it's the other, but there's something missing, or this the other conversation. So if you feel that way, you're entitled to do so, but ask yourself why. It's either ask yourself why, or you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And do understand, we understand it ain't always you. It could be her, and I talk about them on my show. And nobody's safe. I'm not even safe. So I feel you. You either one of those men who are handling your business, or you need to ask yourself why next time before you come in. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yep, yep. And you hit the nail right on the head. He is one of those kind of men, you know, um, uh, kind, considerate, attentive,
Hmm.
romantic. Um,
See, I know
and
it. I
listen,
know it.
I've never listen. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I've never dated him or anything, but he's a friend of mine.
You
So
know his
I know
character.
him.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's cut from a different cloth. He's cut from a different cloth. Um, and so that's why it seems like to him there's a lot missing, because he would never think of, you wouldn't have to ask him to get the water.
Exactly. So he is one of those men that I say, please talk to your homeboy. It's not you. It's your homeboy. And if it ain't your homeboy, it's your homeboy's homeboy and his homeboy. So spread the word. And I said, it's one or the other. Either he is not this type of man, or this is hitting a nerve for a different reason. And it's either one or the other. It's never both. Real men don't have an issue with anything that I have to say because they know men like I speak about. And just so y'all know, Raw Talk Live watchers, my exes follow me and they watch my lives. And I talk about them in their face. Do y'all come watch?
For the record, she does. Nikki makes a very good point. She says what we're talking about right now can be a form of grief.
Hmm.
We always think about grief as somebody dying or that type of thing, but not being able
mm-hmm,
to find
mm-hmm,
love, always being disappointed in relationship, being cheated on, being hit on, being
mm-hmm.
hurt in any kind of way, it brings grief, and you need therapy for that. You need something to help you get over that and get beyond that and heal from that. And so good point, Nikki. It is a form of grief when you're coming out of a painful relationship. That's grief. That's grief. She says the love and respect a lot of men have for their
Mm-hmm.
mothers will
Because they
go
have,
to their
mhm.
woman too,
Hmm. And it
hopefully.
hopefully, because that's not always the case. I done
No.
seen it with my own eyes. Um, I just try to encourage people to have conversation, tell the truth, and have an open conversation. You too old to be playing. If you're not going to be serious with this woman or with this man, say that. Nikki, I'm gonna check your page out. Um,
No.
so I don't. It confuses me why people make things up and why people lie when when they're standing right in front of you.
So
It just
unnecessary.
So unnecessary.
it doesn't make any sense because you're standing in front of me and you lying to me
It's
now.
like, why make it small? Yeah.
I'm gonna know. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm not
For
stupid.
what?
I'm like, what do
Right.
you?
For what? For what?
It doesn't make sense.
Hmm. Nikki says when the woman is, when she's being the woman she's to be and he's not being the man, she's going to grieve that.
She is. She's going to feel like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I always getting the short end of the stick? Why is this always happening to me? I think I can say that I've been there in my relationship lifespan. Like, why am I having to keep dealing with this? Why is this keep happening to me? I'm not a bad person. And then eventually I just said, screw it. Everybody can't do that though. And they do need to talk about it to get through it. And a lot of things stick with them and they take those things with them and they keep them and it hinders them from moving forward in other relationships because they're holding on to all that baggage. So, Nikki, I agree with you 1,000%. It's definitely a form of grief because emotional damage is not easy to move past from a relationship or a number of relationships.
You're absolutely right. Jane says that a younger friend of hers met a man who is 75 who wants a relationship, but she doesn't understand what kind of relationship. And she said that was the problem. An older man is scaring her. She said that she advised her friend to proceed with caution. And that's all she can say. Look, it doesn't matter if he's 35, 55, or 75. The first thing you have to establish is what it is he wants.
Period.
What is it that we're doing? You want to be friends with benefits. You want to be friends and eventually work towards having a meaningful relationship. What's your goal? What's your desire? What is this all about? So regardless of the age, she has to figure out what she wants. She has to know what she wants first,
And then she just simply needs to have a conversation. I
and
don't
then she can have the conversation.
understand why people scared to have conversations. If you're not psychic, you don't have it written somewhere, ask the question. The worst thing that can happen is they're gonna tell you something you don't want to hear or something that you want to hear. I'm not going to be walking around wondering anything. I'm asking questions out of the
Mm.
gate, and I'm going to continue to ask questions until I have a complete understanding of what we're doing, simply because I need to know the rules of engagement.
Hmm. But I think for a lot of women, and I speak
And if
for
you're saying
myself on
things
that.
and you're leading me in, go ahead.
Go ahead, girlfriend Peggy.
No, I was saying that if you're saying things and you're misleading me, you're leading me in directions and making me think that we're going toward a relationship, and I'm still out here guessing and is this gonna happen? Do he want to do this? Or do he really like me? You're not following through, and I got to play this big guessing game with you. I'm not doing that with you because it's not going anywhere. I'm not gonna be out here guessing. That's my favorite saying. I'm not a mind reader. If you can't have a conversation and we can articulate what it is we're doing, where we're going, what you're looking for, what you're not looking for, whatever, then I'm not gonna just tread along just for the journey. I'm not wasting my time doing that. I'm not guessing all the place.
Mm-mm. But
Period. I'm not.
period. I understand that completely, and that comes from somebody who knows exactly what they want and what they're looking for. I watch all kinds of content all the time, and I see women get tripped up over not being clear about what it is they want or expect from a man,
Exactly.
and then you're upset when you don't get what you say you ultimately want, but you didn't start out with that. You weren't clear, exactly about what your
But
expectations were, and then you end up being disappointed.
They assume.
Yes, Peggy.
And a lot of times too, I know that knowing what you don't want from a man, knowing the things that you're not going to accept, not knowing the things that you're not going to deal with from past experiences, go a whole lot further as well. You need to know what you're not going to deal with, not what you're going to tolerate, what you're not going to put up with, starting from day one, out of the gate. Out of the gate, know what it is you're not going to deal with, because if he giving it to you in the start, guess what? You're going to get all through the whole relationship. Don't
And I
do
You're
say
it.
that
absolutely right. You're
I,
absolutely right. You have to nip it in the bud, and that's what the boundaries are about. And like you said, out of the gate,
Good.
you got to go, hey, wait a minute, sir. We're not doing this. Yes, Kizzy?
I say this all the time. I said, and fellas, I know the name of the show is Men Ain't Men, and ladies, I have to tell the truth. Women have all these standards when they're looking for a man. And the minute that they get one and he
Mm-hmm.
do something they don't like, they let those standards
Mm-hmm.
slide. They back him up for the sake of I like him, I
Right.
care about him, I feel about him. However, I feel about him. Stop moving your standards, and you won't keep getting tripped up. If you stick to your standards, then at some point, when he first pushed you a little too far, that's when you're supposed to remind him of what that standard is. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt the first time. I'll remind you of what that standard is, because you may slip into a bad habit of not remembering. I'll give you that one time, but the second time is where I draw the line, because now you think it's okay for you to repeat this behavior. And I need you to understand that it
Repeat.
doesn't. It's not okay. And I blame
It's a
sisters
habit.
out there, ladies. I blame y'all for this. Stop moving your standards and stepping them back when they do stuff that you've been parading around screaming that you ain't gonna put
Mm-hmm.
up with for years. And then you
Right.
get this person that you like a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
making you feel good, and he's doing whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
then he smacks you with something that you like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Okay, so now how you gonna proceed moving forward? You need to put your foot down and let him know this is not tolerated. Now, if he does it again, sis, you need to slide. But y'all don't. Y'all keep going through this vicious cycle of
Over
lowering
and
your
over
standards
and over and over. Yep.
because you feel like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming you can't get nobody else. I don't know about y'all. But where there's a man, there's a way. I can get one. That's all you want. You can get one.
You
They
can get
free.
one. You can get one.
I
Nikki
don't.
says you have to establish a friendship first.
You must, because you don't even know this person. How you gonna have a relationship with them? I don't know you. We need to date for a certain amount of time. I need to see how you are under certain situations. I need to see how you like your coffee in the morning, or if you even like coffee. I don't know.
Well, I
Exactly.
think the trust ship come before the friendship, because I
Yeah.
need to know if I could trust your word. When you say you're gonna call me back, like I say, in the simplest little things, hey, I got to take a call. I'll call you back in an hour or two, or I'll get back with you before I go to bed. Okay, well, I'm just gonna call. And you keep your word on the smallest little things that's free. This is free to call back now.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Oh, I
Hmm.
got your back. I'm coming. We're gonna do something this weekend. I'm listening. Really? Oh, okay. We'll see. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm trying to check you out. Okay, I can't trust you. Now you building a
Right.
pattern of untrust. You're a man that I can't trust your word on the little things.
The little tiniest little
How in the hell am I
most
gonna move
minute
forward with you and
thing.
be able to the tiniest little things? I can't trust you to follow through with it, to keep be a man of your word on this little thing on the scale. How can I trust you to think that you're gonna be my man one day?
Yeah. And then the thing that be killing me is I'm like,
A trust ship. Mm-hmm.
how is it that let's say he's because this has happened to me. He said he was gonna do something, right? And then didn't do it. And then I asked, well, I thought dot dot dot. Now you got an attitude because I asked you about what you said you were gonna do. Please be accountable. Please be consistent. Stop playing. If you're not gonna do it, don't let it fall out of your mouth. And if you And if you just simply forgot or whatever the case may be, don't get an attitude because I'm simply asking, hey, I thought we were whatever we were going to do, but now you mad because I'm asking you about it. So at that point, for me, it's don't worry about it. And now you got an attitude. But as far as I'm concerned, you can put your attitude in your pocket because you didn't care how I felt when you didn't do what you said you were going to do. And this happens. Fellas, y'all watching, I'm telling you, real life experiences. I date on an extremely regular basis. This is what these brothers are out here doing. I guess I'm mean or whatever because I'd be like, okay, I have standards, and if you can't meet them, then I can't date you. And then I'm everything but a child of God, but you still watching, you still looking, and I ain't all that fine at that point. They do it.
They do it. They do it. Shout out to Kim Hill in the
Oh,
building. Hey, baby, what's going on? So tonight we're talking with Kizzy. She is the creator of the podcast Men Ain't Menning. You can see her information on the crawl at the bottom of your screen. She does it on Facebook on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. You can also catch her live on TikTok and Instagram. All of her information is right there. So that's what we've been talking about. But uh, earlier today, I came across a story that I thought kind of fit into what we were talking about tonight because it's a woman who expected something from a man and now she's not getting it. And she's not just any woman, she's Lisa Ray.
This is tied to my daughter's college. This is tied to me taking care of my mother. This is tied to my life because I'm in survival mode.
So what? So what? Who can't say that? Big deal. Don't write no book about that because ain't nobody gonna buy it because that ain't no story.
And I had a prenup. I had a binding contract with him that he's not willing to relinquish to me.
What do you expect?
What I expect is when I pray to be able to get some answers on how to deal with those things.
And you will when God gets ready because God does not report to you and you don't pay him. He's God. When he says wait, it just simply means wait.
Yo, shout out to the bishop for telling this delusional ass woman what she really needs to hear. I got all these bills to pay and I gotta take care of my mama. Shut up. Learn how to keep a man. You won't have this damn problem.
Oh, I don't know what keeping a man means. You know, if you learn how to keep a man, now you're not going to have a problem. Sir, are you out of your rabbit mind?
totally. And she,
Are you
I know who
crazy?
was
Now,
talking. Oh
listen,
my God.
I understand that she's upset. She married that king, that prince, that whatever,
Yeah.
that, from Turks and Caicos. They had a prenuptial
Yeah.
agreement. So, if we get divorced, you get certain things. And now he's reneging on the contract, and that's very upsetting to her. But see, you can't depend on that. You have to continue to do what it is that you do as a woman to take care of yourself. And so if he never does it, then he just doesn't do it. But she's mad because she needs money for certain things. But baby.
She I don't think she realizes.
Yeah, but
Okay,
his comment was totally disrespectful.
his comment was completely
His comment was
disrespectful.
totally disrespectful. Yeah. It
At
was
the end.
disrespectful because it had nothing to do with her keeping a man. Like I said, she had standards and he broke the standards, and she wasn't willing to fall into the lifestyle that he wanted her to. I mean, she decided it wasn't going to work for marriage. So, what do you mean when you learn how to keep a man?
Well, really, what you need to learn how to do is how to choose, or to say yes, how to say yes, because the man does the choosing. All right. How to say yes to the right man for the right reasons. See, I don't know what her motive was
Okay,
when she married that man.
let
Was
me
she in love with him, or did she see dollar signs? Could she possibly think
It
that a
doesn't matter
man with
because,
that
like I
kind of
said,
money and power and influence is the type of man that's going to be monogamous?
For one, she
I'm sure she don't know.
married, she didn't marry a U.S. citizen. So this is her problem and why she's having a problem with the prenup. You can't enforce somebody who isn't a citizen of this country. You can call them to court. It don't mean they got to show up. She married a prince of a whole different country. And
He
okay, yeah,
owns the country.
a whole different country. And she is fired up because he's like, yeah, I'm not agreeing to it. And technically, because he does not reside in the US, you can't really enforce it. I mean,
They can't
I
hold
can't
him to
remember
the fire.
I can't remember where he's from. I mean, it would
He's,
cost her a
he's
whole lot of
Turks,
money. I,
Turks and
I,
Caicos.
is that where it is?
Turks and Caicos.
Okay, yeah. So it's like, but at the same time, sis, your complaint is just about like everybody else's complaint. And
Join the club.
you aren't special, but at the
Look,
same time, you are making money, more money than most of the rest of them that are having this problem.
Is
But
she?
she does
mm,
live side shows. She gets paid for going to events and things like that. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes,
but I don't know how many
my
events she goes to. I've
my
seen her do one event in Orlando. I don't follow her, so I
yeah.
don't know. But I know she's not in any movies. She's not making no movie money.
I don't think she's in any. I don't think she's in any shows, but she does do. I follow her, so I know that she does do. Like she, just like they pay the celebrities to go to wherever it is that they go, show up at a party or whatever. But I don't think she is in movies right now either. But I know she still occasionally goes to, like, if somebody's throwing a party and they have Lisa Ray in the building. She's not paid like that to what she's accustomed to, I suppose. But she still has avenues of revenue. Hmm.
It
I
takes a
wanted to
lot of
address what
revenue.
girlfriend B said. Yeah, when you were saying that, we have to learn, I guess, how to say yes to the right man for the right reason. They send their representatives, and you in love, and he has money, and he has prestige, and he has standards, and he has all these wonderful things in place, and so you're in love, and yes, you feel like this is the man for you. This is the man you want to spend the rest of your life with. But like I said, when they send in their representative out 6 months into marriage, a year into the marriage, you find out you married to King Kong or whoever, then what you gonna do? You gonna stay or you gonna go? She chose to go. You never know when you saying yes to the right person until you've been in that relationship for 25 or 30 years,
And still
40
maybe
years, 50
then.
years in. Now you
And
say, I feel like I married the right man.
Right.
and you might still not feel like
Huh?
you married the right one, but you're there.
But
You
you're
know, I don't
You
know why
staying in
people
there.
say
You
40
hanging
and
in
50
there. Yeah,
years. I
you
hope
getting
all of
through.
them are happy, but we really don't know. And here's the bottom line. Jane said it in 4 words. It's a crapshoot.
picking up some dice.
It's
Yep,
a
Amen.
roll of the
crapshoot.
dice. That's right.
It's a roll of the dice. You
That's
marry
right.
him, everything beautiful,
I agree
fine,
with you.
hunky dory, beautiful, fine, hunky dory. Then he gets sick or he gets in an accident. Now he can't work anymore. Now he can't
Mhm.
perform his manly duties anymore.
Mhm.
Or he he
Financial
he, uh,
duties.
he starts using drugs or abusing alcohol, all the kind of things that weren't happening when you first got started. All along the way things can happen and change. Good luck. God bless you.
Right.
And
Or you're in a relationship with him and you find out he have 3 or 4 other women. And he's still dealing with his exes and his baby mamas and all kind of the drama. Yeah, yeah,
That happened to me. I'm like,
exactly.
wait,
So many
this
things.
it happened. That's what they do. But because I mean that happened to me like in my last relationship. I find out, okay, so wait a minute. What there's I find out about one of them, and that's why we break up. I find out about the other one a couple of weeks later. But see, I'm smart. I pay
Mm.
attention to how you behave. So I made a
That
space.
Mhm.
pattern.
So probably my dating experiment started 3 days after me and him broke up. You can do whatever you think you
Mm.
doing, your patterns and your behaviors, and I'm peeping and I'm looking and the devil is in the details. All you have to do
Mm.
is pay attention. So I made a space for me. 3 days after we broke up, I started my dating experiment. Do what you like, sir.
There you go. Nikki says it. She says it's chess, not checkers. With everything in life,
Hmm.
it's
Mhm.
strategy. It's strategy.
Mm.
Well, I tell you what. I don't know about you,
Word to the
girlfriend
wise
Peggy.
and sufficient, so they say. Hmm? What?
Say that again.
I said, a word to the wise is sufficient.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
then I heard you talking. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, yep, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And that's all you can do. And it is what it is. As they say, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. And we ask that all you can do for us, please, is to like, comment, and share. If you joined us on Facebook, take some time and go to Real as Women on YouTube and like the show, make a comment there as well, share it from there. Because there's probably somebody who you would like to hear what this conversation was all about tonight. And so we just want you to know that we appreciate you. Make sure you follow Lakesa Dennison on Facebook and become part of her show, Men Ain't Menning, on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And also our Nikki Nikaya Brown on Monday nights at 8 p.m. for Let's Talk About Grieving. Follow everybody. It's free to do it, and they appreciate your support, and we do too. So, all hearts satisfied.
Yeah.
Any last words, girlfriend Peggy or Kizzy?
I just want to thank you ladies for having me.
I enjoyed you
Oh,
so much, girlfriend Kizzy. I enjoyed you. Thank you so much for joining us on Raw Talk Live. We really love you
you're
and appreciate you for doing it.